everyone, welcome or welcome back to Higher Max. I am back, and of course with another Temptation Island South Africa review, because we have a new episode coming out tomorrow and I do not want to let this week pass without us getting into the nitty-gritty. We will be discussing today the first date choices, what happens in the villa, these connections that are growing, and the dates that take place. And of course, we get a sneak peek into our first bonfire. But before I continue on, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the socials, as you can see right here. Let's get into this video. So as I said, we begin the episode by us seeing the first date selections. And I'm not gonna lie, some of these choices shocked me a tad bit because of the things that took place in the first episode. As usual, when we be getting the selections, Miss Nthabi is being a bit snug, so I'm not gonna lie, she's calling them the girls these thirsties, which I'm like, again, this is why you came onto Temptation Island, is to be around these singles. So like, why are they thirsty? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, they're not doing too much yet. I mean, there's some behavior that I see that we need to discuss about hot tubs and Grant and Eve, but we'll get there. My little Miss Precious chose Dane, and then Estelle chose Jerry to take on a date. And you know what was the craziest part for me? When Miss Estelle asked Jerry to hold her hand in front of her mans. Do you remember what I said the last episode, the last video that I filmed, when I said, does Estelle like her man? Does she like her man? Because if I was him, if I was Justin, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be feeling some type of way. My feelings would be like a tad hurt, because it's like, you had to do that in front of me. You can let me know what you think, but I think that it was a tad shady, especially for the first date. Like, you know what I mean? It's a bit much. And it's not the hand holding that's a bit much, but it's the hand holding in front of your significant other that I'm like, it's a bit much. Also chose Smooth, and what kills me in the confessionals is when Sifiso is like, I don't know why Musa chose Smooth, he's not her type, blah 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 blah. Who's to say? Like, why you know, a person can have many different types, so a person can be attracted to many different, and Smooth's fine. So, and as I said, because I feel like he's going to be the shady one in the relationship, I want Miss Musa to get what she needs, and that'll be that. Nthabi chose CJ, which is one of the things that shocked me, considering, remember last episode when CJ said something about, oh, I'm living with your girl now, and then, you know, MJ was being a bit shady. So I feel like that was interesting that she chose someone that her man specifically had qualms with. But then again, like, MJ's had an issue with everyone pretty much, so there's only so much the girlies could do. We have Angelique versus Nthabi. That has 2 rounds, and we'll get into when she touches Nthabi, which, you know, I don't like the don't touch people, because, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. But I like Angelique's like vibe, if that makes sense. So then the guys decide to choose their partners. Grant pairs up with Nicole, aka Coco. Our girl Precious was not doing too well. She was not doing too well. She was in her feels about that one. But as I said before, you know, she's quite emotional about this whole process, so I'm not surprised by her reaction. Justin chose Angelique, and that's when the Nthabi and Angelique round 2 happens, the scuffle in the face. I just want to get to one of the couplings where, like, I just want Nthabi and MJ to cool off a little bit, in the sense that I just need them to stop antagonizing the singles so much. Just because then I also feel like I'm not getting to know the other personalities that much, because it's so much of them. Sifiso chose Dimpho, and it's interesting because, you know how he made the comment about Musa choosing someone that's not her type, and then Musa literally laughed, and she was like, I know my man and I know his type. And so he even says later on in the date, like, that's why he chose her, because she's very much close to the type of woman that he likes. And do you guys remember last episode when I said, I feel like I saw MJ with Buntle, right? When I said in the clips for the upcoming weeks. And then what happens? MJ chooses Buntle for a date. And you know what? This whole time I thought Buntle was this cute, timid little wallflower, beautiful girl, but like maybe might be more on the shy side. The way this episode has changed that perception completely. She's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, she's like this, and we see that a lot on their date. So we end up going back to the villas, and you know what? The conversation that got me, like, something that's been coming up a lot is Sifiso's dissatisfaction with the fact that him and his woman, Musa, his girlfriend, his significant other, are from different cultural backgrounds. Like, he keeps on bringing the Zulu culture thing up all the time, and it's like to the point where, you know, because he mentions it in the villa when he's talking to Alessa, right? Because he's talking about how he wants a woman to provide, blah, blah, man, I feel like a king, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's always on this trip. And he just keeps on bringing up this cultural issue, which, you know what, I understand. Some people prefer to date within their tribe. Fine. But if you have decided already to be with someone outside of that, can you live with it or just let it go? Like, she cannot change the fact, Musa cannot change the fact that she is not Zulu. I am so sorry. So either decide, do you want to be with her and accept her for who she is and the cultural background, or don't? But like, we can't, you know, you can't keep complaining about something that is just out of the person's control. It's not a behavior issue. And interesting enough, this connection between Palese and Sifiso, and the way he just keeps on going on, he's like, I just wanted someone to cook, and then when she asks him what does he want, and he's like my girl asked me that, we fight about that all the time. I don't, like, just cook anything. How can you be pressed about somebody asking you what you want to eat? Like, first of all, they're gonna cook it for you, and they're just asking you what you want to eat. Like, you know what I mean? There's just certain things that don't make sense to be annoyed with someone about. Like, it cannot be that deep. But then also, I also want him to remember, the villa is not real life. Like, the way that you're interacting with these people, like Balesa or whatever, you know, it's like at the beginning of your courtship. So these are the best of the days. So don't, like, I didn't appreciate the comparisons to Musa, because I'm like, you guys have been dating and you've been together, so you can't compare her to the people like that you're seeing for like half an hour a day, and they are presenting their best self to you consistently. Again, so we're now back into the girls' villa. Estelle is here for a good time, and even when she brings up to the guys that she likes unavailable men, like, that might be the issue that she has with Justin, and she likes attention, she likes, you know, having that, and I mean, most people do, but there's just something that I feel as if she's dissatisfied in her relationship, which is why I keep asking, and I'm gonna keep asking until you guys let me know, does she like her mans? Does she like her mans? Or the issue, not her mans, but the issue that she's someone who consistently is looking for where the grass is greener. But they say that the grass is greener where you water it. So, do you know who surprised me? I did not expect Precious and Dane to like have these conversations. Like, I'm actually proud of Precious. I know that she is struggling and wants to be with her mans, and this is not exactly where she wants to be, even though she's signed them up. I appreciate her actually forcing herself to make a connection, and I think that Dane is a good guy who's going to bring her out of her shell, because he's very, like, taking this at her pace. Does that make sense? I think Precious needs someone who's going to be slow and coax her and make sure that there's continuously checking in to make sure she's good. But then Miss Ma'am said she doesn't want to look at his third leg, and I was like, insert blinking sound. Blink, 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 blink. I was shocked, did not expect that from Precious. Good for you, girl. Good for you. I was surprised when Sifiso did not let Dimpho into his room. I mentioned this because you know how I said previously, and I still think this, I still stand by what I said. I was like 80% sure that he would, and I still think he's going to be the one to mess up first in the relationship, but I just didn't expect him to set that boundary. So I'm proud of him. I don't expect much, but that surprised me. The dates happen, and the girls go on a speedboat with their dates. You know what kills me is literally Nthabi looked like she was traumatized, experienced PTSD. Like, she looked like she was going through it on that boat ride. She was not having a good time. Miss Musa was holding onto her wig. Like, the girlies were not ready for that thing. I mean, Estelle did have a good time, so that was funny to see. And who was, I think it was Spoo, who was just like screaming the whole time, having a good old time. But then they all get to kind of hang out more at like the peer deck-ish area where they get to discuss things a little bit more. Again, as I said, I'm proud of Precious for putting herself out there and actually trying to see where this thing with Dan can go. And you know what? I like Sbu for Musa. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit weary for, you know, I like him for her in the villa. Like, real world, I don't know why he gives me player vibes, like my alarm bells go off, but I like him for her for now. Estelle and Jerry, you know, after Jerry got super drunk at the night before in the villa, like I was kind of nervous about how the date was gonna go, but it went pretty well, and I feel like, I don't think they're developing anything, because I don't really think Estelle's actually interested in him. I think she's gonna go on a date with somebody else next week. Nthabi, definitely not into CJ. Low-key, I feel like he gives her, you know how every girl has a different thing that can give someone an ick. Like, I saw a tweet by Oloni today where she was like, some girl said a guy holding an umbrella gives her the ick. So I feel like everybody has like a weird ick, and she just did not like him laying it on too thick. Like, she felt like it was too soon and too much. So I also do not have much hope for them. So the guys, they go to hang out with the elephants. You know what I'm gonna first talk about? Justin and Angelique, because I feel like we haven't seen Justin. Like, is it just me who I feel as if there's not that much Justin content going on our screen? I think he admits something very important. He says that Estelle doesn't like to show her vulnerability, and that's something that, you know, causes some issue in their relationship. And he also seems very genuine to me, but I also can believe what he's been saying about Estelle, in the sense that, you know what, she's great and wonderful, but I don't know if she, you know, like, I don't know if they're compatible in that sense. Of course, with Sifiso and Dimpho, like, Sifiso continues going on and on and on about wanting to feel like a man, wanting to feel like a king, and then again brings up the whole cultural tribe issue again. And I think at some point Dimpho was taken a bit aback when he was like, I expect a woman to cook and clean and blah 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 blah. I think she was a bit taken aback, like, okay sir, like, I don't know if I'm the girl to do all those things for you. How do you have a crush already? Didn't you meet her like 3 seconds ago? Like, explain. Like, you left your girlfriend like 2 minutes ago. Like, you already have a crush? So, you know how earlier I was talking about how Buntle shocked me? Yes, let's get into how Buntle shocked me. Because as I said, I thought she was some little innocent wallflower girl, beautiful. But then this date, she was just coming in with the questions. I agree with her for judging MJ because his behavior for the past few times with the singles has been inappropriate. But she was busy asking about his sexuality, if his relationship with Nthabi is even real. Like, she was not holding back anything at all. You know, Grant and Coco have a good date, and we continue seeing their relationship develop when they go back to the villa and they are in the pool slash hot tub. It was kind of small to be a pool, so I feel like it's a hot tub. And that whole situation went down a bit awkward because then a few girls, I don't know who the other girls were, but I do know that Eve was the one who kind of went on top of him and was like, you know, grinding on him, which I feel like made him feel kind of uncomfortable, and which made me feel awkward, especially since him and Coco were having a moment. And I understand where they're coming from. They want to develop connections with him, but I don't feel like that was the way to do it, because it just kind of ruined the moment. And we see in the clip for the next episode that he's gonna have a conversation with them about it. So I think that's an important thing to do. But I also think when Miss Precious sees the clips, of Grant, because you know how producers produce, like, they're gonna put it together like looking kind of shady, or they're gonna show the closeness between him and Coco. And I don't know guys, Dane's gonna really need to comfort her that night, because I don't know if she's gonna do fine, if she's gonna be okay. And I've also noticed that MJ likes to feed Buntle a lot, and I don't think Nthabi's gonna like that when she sees those clips. Currently, to be honest, the people who I think are not gonna be happy with the clips, obviously Precious, Nthabi, Musa. As I said, we've not seen a lot of Justin content, so I don't really know what Estelle could be unhappy about. If he was just making the comment about her vulnerability, which I think wouldn't surprise her. So I think she's gonna be fine. And I feel like on the guy side, the person who's gonna be the most upset is definitely gonna be Justin. At that bonfire, Sifiso's talking about the same thing, and Musa's gonna see that. We're gonna see her reaction in the next episode. I'm very excited for that. Let me know what you guys have been thinking about how Temptation Island SA has been going. They have episodes every Thursday on Showmax. And obviously I'll be making a review about that the next time I watch it. So do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about what is going on. Again, I also post short form versions of this on TikTok, so you can check me out on there. And I hope you have a good day, evening. Just take care, and I'll be seeing you very, very soon with another video. Goodbye.